Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to my little discussion about my most disappointed movies of 2016. Now, I'm not gonna do like a top five list or anything like that of the most crappiest movies or anything like that because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort for someone to actually make a film, regardless of the fact that it may not live up to a certain expectation that we may have. So, when everything else said and done, this is just going to be my list of movies that I was disappointed in. Maybe you might actually want to comment below on what your disappointment movies were. But for mine, to start off with, was Batman vs. Superman. This is a movie that I couldn't wait to see whenever it was first announced in 2013 at the Comic Con, and actually knocked everybody's socks off whenever we found out about it. Then, as everything came about and stuff like that, I was sold as Ben Affleck as Batman. I was excited about all that. Then once I saw the movie that just came out last year, I was disappointed in it. It didn't live up to the expectations that I had in my mindset. And what I mean by that is it didn't the fight sequences weren't that long. There was also some other stuff that I didn't like that was really choppy because of the editing. Now, if I was to review this as a director's cut is perfectly well executed, it's perfectly well done. But as a movie as a whole, as something that's a part of a theatrical cut, I'm not sold on it. I didn't like it. So that's why Batman vs Superman's on this list because I was just disappointed in it. I was expecting more from it. I was expecting more of a battle between Batman and Superman, and it didn't live up to that expectations that I had. And I love the performances and everything. It's just the editing and everything else that was done in this movie that made me feel like, yeah, I just didn't care for it that much. But hey, I still own Batman vs Superman on Blu-ray. I have the extended version, and I can always watch the extended version. The next one was actually an animated movie that had high expectations on my list as well, and that movie was The Secret Life of Pets. This was actually about a movie about what your pets do while you're gone. And I actually laughed my butt off during the previews and stuff like that. I was actually sold on everything. Then I get into the theater and it's like limited laughs. It was just really bad in my opinion to where the point is I was disappointed. I didn't really laugh at all. It's more of a forced laugh because everybody else is laughing and you're expected to laugh too. And I just didn't care for it. What I liked Kevin Hart's character with the rabbit and everything, but that didn't even do anything for me either. There was like no redeeming qualities to that movie, so that's why that movie's on that list. Next up is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was also another thing that I was actually excited about. I wanted to see everything that Jared Leto had to offer with as the Joker, like they promised us in the trailer, and we didn't get that. The editing and everything in this movie was horrible, in my opinion. And I love the performances from Jared Leto. I like Ben Affleck as Batman, like I mentioned before, because he has a short cameo. I actually like everything about this movie, just about, but whenever everything is all said and done, it was just a letdown because I'd rather it be where you're going after the Joker rather than this Enchantress because it makes it more of an interesting story. Because then you have Harley Quinn that can actually go ahead and backstab the squad, and then there's that motivation of trying to go back after her. But that's just the way I look at it. And then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you the extended cut for this movie, even though we didn't want to do it, but we're gonna give you the extended cut because everybody wants the extended cut." Then we get the extended cut. It was a letdown. 13 minutes versus 30 extra minutes of Batman vs Superman that actually ended up enhancing your experience. And this one didn't even enhance anything. It was just very choppy still. Nothing felt like it moved well with the movie or anything like that. It was just time wasted, and none of the scenes that I wanted to see in there, like the Joker burning his face. Not only that, but I wanted to see that Joker line where he says, "I can't wait to show you my toys." Everything about that wasn't even in that cut at all. So basically, I was disappointed with the cut. I was disappointed with the movie. Performances were well done, but the direction as it follows, I didn't care for the direction of the movie. Next up, I'm gonna have to put down the Blair Witch. Now, this is actually the sequel to the very first Blair Witch movie, not to the other Blair Witch movie that we did not talk about. But I'm not a fan of found footage movies. But hey, I figured go in this movie open minded, see what thing is gonna be like. And I like the fact that I like the sound effects and everything else for this movie. But even then, that's not even redeeming quality. I didn't care about the characters in there. There was no emotional attachment to the characters. Whenever the characters died, I'm like, who cares? It was just the same story all over again from the first Blair Witch movie, which I couldn't care less about because I'm not a fan of found footage movies, but still I wanted to actually try something new out because I like experiencing something new. So the next one I'm going to end up talking about is X-Men Apocalypse. Now, this is a movie that I couldn't wait to see either, despite the fact that we actually got to see Apocalypse as a Pepto-Bismol bottle during the first production of this thing. And I was like, don't worry about it. The effects are going to be there. And, of course, they deliver on the way he looks. But the visuals look good. The story was good up to a certain point. I wanted to see more of a menacing type thing from Apocalypse, and to me, I just didn't get it. I just didn't get that menacing type of villain like I would have thought I was going to get. So my expectations were right here when they should have been right here. But that's just me. Then the Magneto thing was totally underutilized in my opinion, and I felt like that they underutilized Michael Fassbender as an actor on that. But that's just the way I'm looking at it. Then I'm going to have to go in with The Killing Joke. The Killing Joke promised a rated R cut, and we got a rated R cut just for the sake of it being rated R. There was nothing special about this movie at all, unless you actually fast forward to 20 minutes or 30 minutes into the movie, then you actually get The Killing Joke, which is what we like, and then they're trying to shove a Batgirl story in there to have an emotional attachment to that character, which you didn't even need in the first place because you actually like Batgirl from beginning to end anyway. So why even have that if you already know Barbara Gordon is Batgirl? But still, that's just my point of view. I was let down with it, but I also kind of liked the last 30 minutes of the movie. Then I have to go with the other movie, is the 31, the Rob Zombie movie. I actually shut that off after 30 minutes of actually renting the movie because I just didn't care about this movie anymore. There was no tension released. There was nothing there, nothing but a bunch of slasher and blood and stuff like that that does not define a movie at all to be scary. So I had to say no to that one. And then The Green Room. Everybody was talking about how great Green Room was. And I watched Green Room. The tension is there. The tension built-up is there. The character development is there. But it was boring. It didn't lead up to nothing, in my opinion. I didn't care for this movie. I did not like this movie at all. It was a total letdown, in my honest opinion, because my expectations, like I said before, were high. And when my expectations were high, I was expecting something a little bit more. And finally on the list is the movie The Witch. The Witch was another one that I was actually interested in because it got a lot of buzz from the Independent Film Festival, just like Green Room did. And this just the thing, it just didn't live up to the expectations of what I had in mind. And the slow build-up was there. The Old English was there, and I didn't mind that at all. But it just dragged on and on and on. And then finally, when you get to the very end of it, it was a real snore fest towards the end of it. So, with that being said, that was my list of movies that I was disappointed in, and I wish that it would have been a lot better for 2016. But hopefully, this year will be a whole lot better for us as moviegoers. So, tell me what you guys think. Did you like any of the movies that I mentioned? What didn't you like about those movies? What is your top list? Tell me what you think. Comment below. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up button. As always, and I'll be back again for another review probably this weekend. So, have a good day.